you think? What you think? 'Cause you're in my true love that I've been craving. Let me in now, don't be shy. We can be a summer story.
Just you and me, like the skate girl tonight.
None of them boy, they no bad. None of them boy, they no bad. None of them boy, they no bad. Black man, silver power, do some archbishop. Them no bad.
You know I suggest. You know I suggest. Let's go.
now, don't be sad. We can be a summer story.
Just you and me, let's escape, girl, tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're ready for an exciting day. This is the final, the last round 5 of the Scottish Virtual Drift Series, SVDS. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys are strapped in for a heater. This is going to be one hell of an event. We have some of our best drivers. We have some guys in the count for the Points Championship, and they are going to be pushing like crazy. This is Top 64 for Scottish Virtual Drift Series. And although it may be our last round today, keep in mind that Series 2 does go, it has gone live, and you can go to www.scottishvirtualdriftseries.com to sign up for Series 2 if you think you have what it takes to compete with some of these guys. I think that these guys are some really, really talented drivers, so if you think you've got what it takes, head over to www.scottishvirtualdriftseries.com to go and sign up for Series 2. But without further ado, we have our first battle coming up to the line here. This should be Jackson Lay versus Brendan Stacy. Alex, are you just as excited as I am to see this last round?
Yeah, you know, I wasn't here last round for commentating. I was doing something else. But yeah, I am back today, and yeah, what a beautiful day at Driftland, and we're going to be doing a lot today, and we're going to be seeing some really good battles. We have 2 drivers on the line already. We're just waiting for them to be ready. But yeah, very different layout on Driftland today, something that has been ran, but it's the other way. So this is going to be an interesting layout for the drivers to tackle, and let's see if the battles are as good as the track.
As well as, most interestingly, at the end of this layout, we do have what we call a backwards inside clip. Essentially, it's an inside clip. It looks like a normal inside clip, but what we want is for drivers to push wide around that last inside clip. Essentially, the wider you are around it, the more points you get, but you still have to put a tire on it. So you're aiming to put your lead tire on that front, on that last line of the last inside clip. You'll see it as these guys go for it, but it's definitely an interesting adjustment to the layout that I think is going to make this quite fun to watch. What do you think, Alex? What do you think?
Yeah, I think that inside clip's definitely going to change a lot of things up. As the drivers said, as the judges said in the drivers briefing, it is an A to B clip. A to D. So basically, the furthest one out is an A line, and then the furthest one in is a D line, which is completely opposite to a normal clip, but it's more like a touch and go. If you touch the marks, you get the points, and that's all. Here we go.
Absolutely, but here we go. Ready for our first battle here. We have Jackson Lay and Brendan Stacy here setting it in. Beautiful initiation from Jackson Lay. As you can see them go into that first outside clip here. A little bit shallow coming into the second one is Jackson Lay, as Brendan Stacy is just trying to keep up the proximity, but is losing a bit of that angle, trying to stay on the back end of that S14, but transitioning here now into the final inside clip. Look at that, coming around that wide line, exactly where he wants to be for Jackson Lay. Oh, interesting first run for sure, Alex, as you see Jackson Lay was struggling a little bit getting out wide on those corners, but Brendan Stacy having his fair share of problems as he was struggling a little bit in that chase position, trying to find a good place to slot in.
Yeah, very sloppy battle from these two so far, but let's hope they can clean it up for the second half. Obviously, this one around Brendan Stacy in the lead, Jackson Lay in the chase.
Absolutely. Oh, and you can see Jackson Lay gets gapped off of the start line here as Brendan Stacy throwing a beautiful initiation in that first corner. Now, if you guys will notice, this track is very tight. It's a very small course for these pro cars to do, so it's going to be interesting to see how they maneuver around this. Oh, and Jackson Lay throws too much angle in that chase position and loses out on the proximity he should have had. Unfortunately, Brendan Stacy running away with it, as it seems, in that lead run. And man, what an interesting battle, Alex.
Yeah, very interesting battle indeed. Just don't know what's happening right now. It looked like Jackson Lay in the chase just didn't really know where he was going. But as well, he did have them mistakes in the lead, so it's leaning towards the other driver right now. But obviously, the other driver, Polaris, aka Brendan Stacy, having a lot of troubles as well, but not as many.
Yeah, unfortunately, for a first battle, it's a little bit sloppy, but I promise you guys, as we go farther, I mean, this is just top 64, that we got to get our rougher battles out of the way, but this weekend is going to be a barn burner. I think that we have got some incredible drivers, a couple of them fighting for a championship, so we're going to see some of our best battles of the series, I believe, in this round. So here we go. Swipe him left for Jackson Lay and swipe him right for Brendan Stacy. That's 1, 2, and all 3 judges unanimously picked Brendan Stacy to move on to our top 32, and Jackson Lay, unfortunately, putting it back up on the trailer and heading home virtually, of course.
Yeah, it's sadly to see Jackson go this early, but Brendan Stacy was the better opponent and he took the win there. So next battle here, we will have Alex Standings versus Connor Aspel, 2 very good looking cars. Connor Aspel staying very far back to try to get that jump off the start line. And yeah, we'll see how these battle goes. IRL driver versus a very known pros driver.
Absolutely, and you can see that we have a very interesting start gate set up. There's not a lead and chase lane like you see normally. You have the chase driver starting behind the lead driver, essentially trying to maximize speed before the very short run up into this initiation with Alex Standing. Look at that, a little bit of contact between Connor Aspel and Alex Standing goes around with Connor Aspel continuing out the run, finishing it out, trying to get into this clip here, and Alex Standing cutting the track, going to go try and finish out his run too. Look at that, kicking that E36 back into drift, that Mclellan Motorsport E36 looking up pretty good out here on track. But Connor Aspel, also a fantastic driver. Unfortunately, with that contact, it might be on him. We'll have to see what the judges think about that. But let's move into the second half of the battle. As you can see, our drivers about to pull up. Alex, what do you think while we wait for them to pull up?
Yeah, it did look like a bit like Alex Standings did completely check up, but I don't know if that's just the camera angle, but the judges will decide that. But yeah, just contact. Alex Standings spins out, and yeah, Connor Aspel obviously makes contact with the side of that E36, but we won't happen until the judges give us their decision.
For sure. And this short run up definitely not doing a ton of favors for these guys. It's definitely something interesting, especially considering right off the line, if the lead driver chooses to, he can practically light the car up and just send it immediately into the initiation here. As you can see, Connor Aspel already flicking it into that first outside clip, coming around that first outside zone a little bit deep. It looked like he might have dropped tires here with Alex Standing in the chase position, trying to keep up onto the door of Connor Aspel here, as Aspel is just throwing down a nice lead run, trying to give Mr. Alex Standing a good lead run. Follow here. Look at that, on the door is Alex Standing, but loses a little bit of ground just at the end of the run there, unfortunately. Man, this is going to be an interesting event if these are the battles that we're looking at here. Alex, what do you think?
Yeah, I think see Alex Standing. Yeah, there we go. You can see Alex Standing nearly straighten out and just stop the car.
Yeah, it looks like he might have made a mistake that we didn't catch before. The judges might be looking at that to see if it was a mistake that caused the crash or if the crash happened afterwards. The judges will be taking a look at that for sure. But in just a moment here, we'll be taking you over to that screen to see what they decide here. Look at that. Alex Standing, swipe him left, or Connor Aspel swipe him right. And it looks like Connor Aspel is going to get the win. And unfortunately, that Mclellan Motorsport E36 heading back up onto the trailer for the weekend, unfortunately. But Connor Aspel moving on to the top 32. And now we move on to our next battle, Alex.
Yeah, sadly, Alex Standing did not do enough there to beat Connor Aspel. Connor Aspel doing a perfect job of showing us what to do in that situation. But yeah, we're going to be moving on to our next battle. 2 very beautiful looking cars. Obviously, Jason Coate versus David McKeever. Jason Coate being a part of KNC Motorsports and David McKeever being a part of Carbon Drift Team. It's going to be a very interesting battle. BMW versus Toyota. We'll see what happens here.
Absolutely, two smaller vehicles here, and they seem to be, they probably have the advantage on a small track like this, being able to rotate quicker than most other vehicles. If you're in a bigger vehicle, you might have a bit of a disadvantage on a track this small, but it looks like these guys are quite smart. That E36 being Europe's golden car, and that GT86 being a pretty good choice as well in terms of smaller wheelbase snappiness. So let's see how these guys do. Jason Coate in the lead position. And David McKeever in the chase position, ready to send it here at SVDS round 5.
Let's go.
A little bit of lag coming from the stream here, just a little bit.
And yeah, if you guys aren't aware, you can go right now. If you want to be in part of this, you can go get your Series 2 tickets on the Scottish Virtual Drift Series website. And yeah, you can be a part of this on the 3.0 data. And yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun next season, a lot more to come. If you want to be a part of that, go over there, buy your tickets. And yeah.
Alrighty, here we're gonna get ready to send them here. Just any moment now, we'll see that light tree go on, and then it'll go red, and then it'll go green, and that's what signals our drivers to take off here. So if you give us just a moment, we'll send Mr. Jason Coate and David McKeever here. These guys, two very talented drivers, two very good-looking cars too. Loving the look of that E36 as well as that GT86. We love our 6 cars apparently.
Yeah, of course. These two drivers very, very eager to get off of the start line and send it down the straight. We're going to see a lot of consistencies today. I feel like a lot of these chase drivers, they've got to be careful of where they place their car, because on the start line, if you make one wrong move, you're getting gapped in as well for that last inner clip. If you do time the transition and dive in before the last corner, you get really stuck and you lose that proximity around the last clip. So that's a lot what these chase drivers got to tackle. And here we go.
Absolutely, but here we go. Look at this, ready to send it in. Jason Coate getting quite a bit of a gap here, but look at that. David McKeever closes it up quite easily, quickly. Big transition though, as David McKeever makes quite a big mistake there in the chase position, making a little bit of a correction behind Jason Coate, who is running a beautiful lead line so far. Big transition around that last inside clip, and we couldn't quite see Jason Coate as we're focusing on David McKeever here with the camera, but we are going to switch him up now here.
Yeah, and you can sort of see what I was talking about with the start and obviously that last transition. They're the places that you want to be getting the jump on. And yeah, Dave McKeever didn't really take advantage of the gap he could have closed.
Alrighty, well, as we get ready to send him here for the second half of the battle, where this is going to be one hell of a battle here. Jason Coate coming out with a good lead run. Let's see how he does in the chase with David McKeever. Now going to be able to make up for his shortcomings in the chase position. Hopefully throwing down a good lead for Jason Coate to follow. Ready to send him off the line here at any moment now.
Yeah, and here we go.
And here we go. David McKeever in the lead position. Jason Coate in the chase position. Big initiation from David McKeever, setting it around that outside zone. Coate just getting a little bit hung up there. Not as much angle, not matching it with David McKeever. And I'm making a very similar mistake to David McKeever here as Jason Coate trying to get up onto the Dorifest 86. Rubbing wheels, it looks like. But Jason Coate just making a bit of a mistake. David McKeever coming in a little bit too tight to that inside clip. We want to see them just a little bit wider. Remember, this inside clip does kind of work backwards. You want to be on that wider line instead of being nice and tight to it so you don't choke off your chase driver. So it's going to be interesting to see how the judges weigh these mistakes. We can look on the side-by-side here. McKeever and Coate making a very similar mistake there in the chase position, not quite managing to match the angle of their lead driver respectively. So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes down. But any moment now, we'll be taking it over to the judges' screen where you can see what they decide here. But Alex, what are you thinking of this battle so far?
Yeah, I think it was not the best driving from both of these drivers. I know both of them can do a lot better. But we could see it one more time maybe here, but we'll see. Here we are, judges sheet. Swipe left for Jason Coate, swipe right for David McKeever. And yeah,
that's 1, 2, and 3 unanimously. Jason Coate gets the win with all 3 judges siding with him, and unfortunately David McKeever are going to be putting it back up on the trailer for the weekend and heading home, unfortunately. But Jason Coate gets to move on to our top 32 tomorrow. Make sure you tune in, by the way, subscribe, turn on your notifications for the Driftland YouTube channel, as tomorrow is our top 32 and you do not want to miss it. It's going to be the craziest round of the season, round 5. Everybody's going to be pushing for that championship, any of them that are going for it. So So make sure that you're tuned in. Make sure that you have your make sure that you're subscribed and you're got your notifications on, as well as, once again, if you want to compete in Series 2, tickets are live and there are still some available. If you want to get in on the action next season, head over to www.scottishvirtualdriftseries.com and get yourself entered into Series 2. But here we go. Alex, who's up next?
Well, I don't know who is up next yet, but here we go. It's going to be Graham Stewart versus Alexander Perez. Graham Stewart running the SVDS 180SX and Alexander Perez in a very good looking S15. But yeah, that's really a trend in a lot of virtual championships right now. A lot of S chassis, which is very cool to see, because obviously in real life you don't get to see many of these cars. But yeah, and it looks like he might be borrowing someone else's car, unless that's someone else coming to the line.
Graham Stewart, Alex Perez. Alrighty, it's looking like Graham Stewart might not be in the server, so this might be a buy run for Alexander Perez as they come up to the line here. Alrighty, lining up to the line here. It does look like Alexander Perez is going to get a buy run, so take a look at this beautiful Super Duve S15 ready to send it here at Driftland. We're going to let you watch this buy run and enjoy the stylings of Mr. Alexander Perez. This man definitely knows what he's doing in terms of throwing on the angle and having a good time out there on track, so it's going to be interesting to see how he does on his buy run here, as he's going to get to move on to the top 32 unchallenged, and hope that he gets some good luck tomorrow. But here we go. With the best luck of getting a buy run, we're going to send Alexander Perez here for his run at any moment now. That's Super Duve S15 looking really beautiful. We love that. We love our S chassis. Alrighty, here we go. Alexander Perez going for his buy run. Big full initiation on that first outside clip. Big wide line around that outside zone, ready to transition here. Look at this, coming into that a little bit slow, doesn't quite get into that outside zone, but that's okay. It's a buy run, he's just got to finish it out. And look at that, going around that outside clip, coming into this outside zone. Look at that, beautiful job from Alexander Perez as he's going to transition here and get on that wide side of that inside clip. Look at that, beautiful run from Alexander Perez, but a couple of things he should clean up, but he's got the chance to before top 32.
Yeah, 100%. All these drivers that have buy runs have a very big chance of doing well, as they get free practice while being pressured by the stream. But yeah, next couple of runs are going to be buy runs due to people not turning up. But here we're going to have Danielis. I don't know how to say that last name. I'm not going to say it.
Parangauskas, maybe?
Parangauskas. You nailed that. I will give that to you. You nailed that one. But yeah, we're gonna have
Danielis Parangauskas. Definitely an interesting name. We have drivers from all over the world showing up to Scottish Virtual Drift Series, so we definitely have a bunch of different kinds of names. But here we go, Danielis looking really good in that first outside zone. He's going to transition nice and hard, hopefully getting into this next outside zone. Look at that, filling it out quite well around that outside clip. Transitioning, look at this, Danielis looking really good around that outside zone, finishing out the run strong. I mean, this buy run almost wasn't necessary. This man's practiced and fresh and ready to go.
He's like, hold on, I'm going to show off my brand new Z and show everyone what I can do.
Absolutely. Look at that. Really pretty. Looking good there. But here we go. I believe we have another buy run here. And who is this coming up here?
Larry Gouchois.
Larry Gouchois.
Sorry,
picture it was an S197, but I'm not sure that's what this is. It's a little bit pixelated on our end, but I'm pretty sure that's an S chassis.
Yeah, I'm guessing they are.
He's driving Brendan Stacy's car here. Look at this S15. Big initiation. Look at that big angle around that first outside zone. We love to see it. Little bit of a stepped initiation, but still looking pretty good around that outside zone. Big transition here from Mr. Larry Gouchois. Looking pretty good in that outside touch and go. Beautiful job into this outside zone here. Larry Gouchois just throwing down a pretty good run here. Right around that last inside clip. Right exactly where we want him. And finishing out the run strong for another buy run. It's Larry Gouchois.
Yeah, not too shabby from Larry there, but you know, we're going to be going on to the next run. And we have just heard that there is going to be a quick server restart, so we might run a bit of ads. So we'll see you on the flip side. And yeah.
escape, girl, tonight.
None of them boy, they no bad. None of them boy, they no bad. None of them boy, they no bad. Bad man, still forward to some archbishop. Them no bad. Who them
You know I said just. You know I said just. Let's go.
I'll be dating.
And we are back for more battles in the Scottish Virtual Drift Series Top 64. And yeah, we're going to be doing a couple of buy runs here. Marcel Stasinski in that beautiful S15, a part of Escuco Drift family. And yeah, we'll wait for him to go off the line. Austin has gone to deal with something, but he will be back any second. But yeah, I'll be commentating the next few runs for you guys. And we'll wait for Marcel. Obviously, guys, if you want to be a part of Scottish Virtual Drift Championship for next season and, you know, get a chance at that cash prize, you know what to do. Go to Scottish Virtual Drift Championship website and, yeah, you can go order a ticket. And, yeah, you'll be driving and having fun with everyone like you see on stream. But here we go. We should be waiting any minute now. Obviously, judges have to take their time to make sure everything's organised. And here we go. He's off. Very aggressive off of the start line. Big flip, big angle coming around. Nice cut through there. Coming into outer 2. Very nice through there. 3. Very nice. Very smooth run so far on all of the outer zones. Maybe some could be deeper, but you know, it's just a buy run. He doesn't have to do the best run, and there's a good example of what to do on that inner clip. Obviously, hit the last hash mark, and yeah, we'll go on to the next person. It might be another buy run. Yep, here we go. Brandon Carter in that Lucas Oil S15. Running the outside line beautifully. A bit of a bobble, trying to get the car back into angle, but very nice through there. Coming into 3, very nice through the middle section. Coming around a big last corner. And yeah, very nice run there from Brandon Carter. Let's hope he can do that in the top 32 and give us some good battles. But yeah, we'll be going on to a battle here, which looks like it will be Owen Magner versus Kowalczyk. And yes, it is Owen Magner in that beautiful S15. and Kowalczyk in that VDC 2.8 E92. Two very good looking cars. Obviously, E92 is a very well known car. You've obviously seen this car in a public car park. A very good looking car, but Owen's car, just an S15, basically with no original body kit by the looks of it. And yeah, we'll be waiting for these two to get to the start line and get ready for their battle. Daniel Kowalczyk being part of AAO and Owen Magner being a part of Hardstyle Drifting.
Two very talented drivers, Daniel Kowalczyk and Owen Magner. Man.
Hello, sir.
Magner is one that I've been watching for a while. He's a pretty fantastic driver here on the sim. I can't wait to see how he does here against Daniel Kowalczyk, who has also proved himself as quite the impressive and formidable opponent. So, gonna be interesting to see how these guys do. But here we go, up to the line here. Daniel Kowalczyk, Owen Magner, ready to send it here.
Yeah. As I was saying, these two guys, very good looking cars, very good drivers, and we'll have ourselves a good battle here. Okay, and it looks like they're coming up to the start line. Oh, I'm going to get a very big jump so he can keep up on that straight. Waiting for the judges to send them two drivers off.
Two drivers, very, very talented guys. Owen Magner and Daniel Kowalczyk ready to send it here. There you go, you can see the light tray starting up here. I believe so. I thought I saw it. Well, that's just unfortunate. But yeah, no, Daniel Kowalczyk in the lead position, fantastic driver, but Owen Magner, no slouch either in the chase. Will be able to put it on the door. We're hoping he's going to be able to anyways, but here we go. We need to get ready to send him here any moment now. Throw down to Driftland UK. Here we go. Look at this. Daniel Kowalczyk in the lead position. Daniel and Owen ready to send it here. Daniel looking nice and deep into that first outside down with Owen right on the door. Possibly a little bit too inside. It's going to choke up his line. He's not going to be able to get up onto the door in time on Daniel's door here. Look at this though. Daniel transitioning nice and decent that outside touch and go. Big angle from him coming around that outside clip. But look at that. Owen making quite a big mistake. Choking himself up here. Man, Owen, I talked up a big game. What's going on, buddy? What's going on? Owen, unfortunately not being able to make a clean chase run here, as he was just making a couple of mistakes that were, some were probably avoidable, some weren't. But it's going to be interesting to see how the flip side happens here with Owen Magner in the lead position now, Daniel Kowalczyk in the chase now. See how these guys get on, Daniel and Owen. Both of these guys very talented, but unfortunately some may be at a deficit here with Owen. We're hoping that he gets down and throws down a good lead run with Daniel, hoping to snatch it away and try and get into the top 32 tomorrow. Let's see how they do.
Not normal from Owen to do something like that, but maybe Kowalczyk made a mistake that we didn't see, so we'll be waiting for them two to get sent off again. Obviously, second half of the battle, these guys have a lot of nerves. I think Owen is fighting.
The lights go green. Owen Magner in the lead position. Daniel Kowalczyk in the chase here. And Owen throwing down a big initiation, nice and wide, but comes in a little bit too shallow around the end of that outside zone, choking off Daniel, but Daniel not phased by it. Gets up on the door of Owen Magner. Owen transitioning nice and deep into that outside clip. Let's see how he does in the outside zone. And Daniel loses the drift. Unfortunately, shuts it down just a moment there to straighten out the car. This is going to be an interesting battle to call for sure, because that was rough. We had Owen, you
Yeah.
can see, come in a little bit too shallow here and doesn't quite get out to that outside zone with Daniel. It looked like he got really close to Owen and had to back off. But right here, here's where the trouble starts here. As you can see, Owen gets out deep into that touch and go, and Daniel falls off just a little bit. It looks like he left foot brakes or something or slows the car down, and it just falls out of power, and it doesn't want to keep going. He manages to kick it back to life,
Yeah, you can
but
see
unfortunately, too little, too late.
You can see contact between those two. They swipe it left for Daniel Kowalczyk, swipe it right for Owen Magner. And 1, 2, and 3. And Owen Magner gets the win. And sadly, we'll be seeing Daniel Kowalczyk heading out. And Owen Magner will win and advance on to the top 32.
That's unfortunate for Daniel Kowalczyk, as if he had managed to keep it together, I'm pretty sure that battle would have gone a lot differently. But I believe now we're moving on to, is that Darius Ostreka and Russell Jones?
Looks like we're going to have another couple of bye runs.
Alrighty, well, we have Darius Ostreka coming in for a bye run here. Now, this guy is going to be one to watch. Darius Ostreka currently in the fight for the points, as he is one hell of a driver and a formidable one to go up against. Luckily, nobody has to go up against him right now, but he is going to be a threat in the top 32 after he completes this bye run. I mean, just watch this man work. I mean, this guy is a genius behind the wheel. This S15 is phenomenally set up and really well driven by Mr. Darius Ostreka. So it's going to be really cool to see this bye run and let him flex, so to speak, on this run here. Big initiation. Look at that, deep on the outside clip. A little bit of a stepped initiation, not quite getting the angle that he want, but looking pretty good through these outside clips. Look at that, right on the line you want to be on out to this